Cargoflash Infotech presents On Air with Cargoflash, where we give you the latest news, views, and insights of the air cargo industry. The true cargo masterminds tell you exactly what you need to hear. Let's get started. Welcome to On Air with Cargoflash, and our topic for the day is cargo tech trends. I'm your host, and today we're diving into the future of air cargo technology with insights from one and only Gautam Mandal, the Director of Digital Transformation at Cargoflash Infotech. At the dawn of a new era in 2024, with the global economy on the path for recovery, fueled with rapid digitalization and the shifting consumer behavior, the landscape of air cargo technology is undergoing a profound transformation. In 2024, we stand at the intersection of technological breakthroughs and evolving market demands poised to redefine the future of logistics. And with that, today's topic of air cargo technology has never been more relevant or crucial for us. Welcome, Gautam. How are you today?
Thank you so much, Bhavna. I'm doing pretty good. And the topic of today is something which is really close to my heart, and being director of digital transformation. This is something which is not only involved in my day-to-day job, but it is also something which I've always wanted from the beginning when I started my career to actually transform the air cargo industry.
Right. We all know how passionate you have always been about technology and how long you've been in the industry. That itself shows the dedication, rather, should I say, the love for the industry and technology.
Indeed. It's an industry with which you can really fall in love, and it's really difficult to come out of it.
I'm sure. We all know that technology holds the key to overcoming operational challenges, optimizing efficiency, and driving sustainability, or rather the green growth, as we call it these days, for an increasing competitive market that we currently facing. So today we will deeper insight into the dynamic world and how technology is obviously augmenting it. So we'll quickly start with a few basic questions.
Sure.
So, to begin with, give us an overview of the current state of air cargo technology. How is it evolving according to you?
See, the air cargo industry traditionally was lagging behind the passenger industry by a very huge margin in terms of digitalization. But in the recent few years, especially post COVID and during the COVID, the air cargo industry is experiencing a start of digital transformation.
Right.
We have started moving from traditional paper based systems to more integrated, transparent, and efficient digital solutions. We have also seen technologies like AI, IoT, and cloud computing being discussed more within the stakeholders of the industry,
Right.
and actually being considered for the implementation. So I would take this as a great step towards the evolution of air cargo technology. We are seeing where airlines are seriously considering moving from the paper-based documents using e-freight, right? E-airway bills, e-CSD, and also a major breakthrough in terms of innovation and transformation is the ITAS One Record initiative, which is being adopted as we speak. So can we say that the E has become things easier for us, and the industry is actually taking it very seriously now? They are giving full attention. However, with the easiness of the industry comes challenges. It's with every industry like we know. So, what according to you are some of the challenges that are still faced by our industry? See, aviation industry in general and air cargo under aviation has always under multiple challenges. The challenges including maintaining efficiency under the fluctuating demand,
Right.
also coupled with the belly underloads. If I have to quote certain numbers by the ITA reports, 45% in the international segment and more than 55% of the belly capacity goes undersold with the air cargo by the airlines. Now, apart from these operational challenges, if I talk about specifically digitalization, the industry has been extremely fragmented. All the stakeholders, they are operating in silos, starting from the shippers, the freight forwarders, custom clearing agents, ground handlers, airlines. They all have information on their individual systems.
Right.
There is very less, if not at all, there the transformation of data. So all stakeholders, they have their data on their own systems, but there is no seamless and real-time visibility and transparency between the stakeholders. So that's a big key challenge which has always been there in the air cargo industry today in terms of digitalization specifically. Right. But after every darkness comes a daylight. So let's talk about some of the emerging technologies that are expected to transform the air cargo industry. So, like I said, in the past few years, I see a tremendous adaptation of technology in the cargo industry. And these challenges are being addressed. And one of the emerging technologies which directly addresses these challenges is the introduction of digital distribution and booking platforms. Right. Cargoflash, in that initiative, has also launched its platform Octoloop, which allows all the stakeholders to efficiently communicate between themselves, get real-time rates, capacities, and do the bookings with an airline, and get real-time track and trace information, all from single login. Right, amazing. So we all know how Cargo Flash has always advocated the aspects of transparency, efficiency through digital tools. So if you could just shed light on what role technology has to play. I mean, the industry people would want to know how important and how pivotal getting technology is for efficiency and transparency. So we just shed a light on that. Sure, sure. So apart from the digital distribution platforms or the booking platforms, which I just spoke about, right? So I would like to talk a little bit more on the ITA's latest digital initiative, right, One Record, which introduces standardized data model for all air cargo stakeholders, and which is shared via standardized and secured web API. Right. So this uniformity ensures that every party, from airlines, freight forwarders, ground handlers, they can access and share the same set of data, enhancing transparency across the entire supply chain. So when I say share the same set of data, so that actually translates the vision where we want the data to be a single source of truth. Right? Right. No more there will be separate set of data, like different stakeholders today. That's one of the biggest challenges where they cannot guarantee that the data they are receiving is one from the right source, and second, if it is from the right source, whether the data is correctly showing the real picture of the shipment. Okay. If I talk about Cargoflash, so we already have started aligning our systems, including our core operating system, which is Engine, as well as Octoloop, our booking platform, to implement the One Record standards and servers. This ensures that our clients benefit from the increased transparency and efficiency in their logistics operations. We believe that adhering to and promoting such industry standards is crucial in shaping a more interconnected, efficient future for the e-commerce sector. Absolutely, and interconnected is the key word. But how do you see artificial intelligence making a difference, impacting the operations and logistics of this industry? Wonderful question, Nanda. So, artificial intelligence is something which I see not only impacting but getting embedded in all the solutions that we have today in the very near future. Right. So, when we say artificial intelligence, the scope is really vast. I'm sure. Right? Yeah. Starting from simple models for prediction where the platforms they can forecast the demand, forecast the capacity, and bring out the right price to sell at the right time, and also optimize the fleets, which we currently do for matter of fact through our revenue management systems. But AI can do much more. Right? AI, I'm sure in the future we will see AI being more utilized in the operations process, where not only we are using to optimize the price, but also how the cargo is loaded onto the aircraft. Correct. Ensuring that each ULD is utilized to its maximum potential. Right? Manpower management at the warehouse. That's a key challenge today in the handler space. AI can help them plan that much better. We have even done some use cases where we have integrated our booking platform with ChatGPT. So imagine you are talking to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT in a natural communication can bring out the best flight options, can bring out the prices, and even do the booking for you to an airline just by communicating naturally with it. So that's where I see AI and ML being impacting the entire cargo sector
Yeah.
in the future.
And I think we both would agree that the only thing that's real in this world right now is artificial intelligence, ironically. Yes. So,
Yeah.
but I believe artificial intelligence is the trend of the time, but the word of the decade right now is e-commerce. So, how is air cargo technology adapting to the meeting the increasing demand, the supply of the first and last mile delivery, and how is the efficiency augmented in it?
See, if we talk today, 80% of the cross-border e-commerce shipments are moving via air cargo.
Right.
However, the keyword here is air cargo. The e-commerce shipment is still moving as air cargo.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean? Is the key stakeholder in the aviation, which is the airline, they are just moving the e-commerce shipment from airport to airport. However, you know that e-commerce is much more than that. When we talk about the e-commerce, I as a buyer, when I buy something from a platform, I expect it to be delivered at my house at a certain time in between to get an entire transparency on where my goods are at any moment of time.
Absolutely.
So here is where technology can really empower airlines to tap into this big potential of revenue, which is just there for the grabs. And in fact, we have done this with few airline customers of ours, where we have enabled them, empowered them to handle the entire supply chain of the e-commerce from the point when, as a buyer, you go to an e-commerce platform, for example, on Amazon or JD, and buy something. That's the point from where it starts talking to our system and we push information to the airline. As we are talking, we are in the process of advanced stages of implementing the solution to few more customers of ours. I'm sure we will be able to take that name soon. And but having said that, it is still slower, like in comparison to what we would have ideally wanted the airlines to adopt e-commerce. And through this podcast of yours, I would also urge airlines to look into this huge revenue earning potential which is just there. And just by implementing and investing very small amount on technology, they can get this untapped revenue opportunity.
Right. So like I said, the word of the decade is e-commerce, but another word of the coming decades and for a very long time now would be sustainability, right?
Indeed. Indeed.
So any thoughts on that?
We are living on this, so we have to do something for it.
Absolutely.
Indeed, right?
Yes.
Having said that, when we talk about the aviation industry, you would be surprised that the global aviation industry only contributes to about 2.5% of the world's total CO2 emissions.
Mhm.
But still, it has always been in the limelight. It
Yes.
is the industry which is most criticized for not adapting to the sustainability models.
Right.
One of the reasons is that the per passenger mile basis, the aviation industry tends to emit more CO2 compared to other forms of transportation like cars, buses, or trains.
What is it?
Yeah, indeed. However, I see the aviation industry as the pioneer in taking steps to ensure reduction of CO2 emissions. These include newer aircrafts, which are designed to be much more fuel efficient. And you will be surprised that it offers almost a reduction by 20 to 25% compared to older models. We also now seeing a gradual implementation of alternate fuels, such as SAF, which is the Sustainable Aviation Fuel, which can impact the emissions by almost 80%. But all these measurements are taken at the commercial level. That means we cannot distinguish today how much is the contribution by air cargo.
Right.
So all these for the entire flight and primarily passenger oriented. However, we allow for every shipment that moves through us, either which has been booked on engine, our operating system, or in Octoloop, what is the CO2 contribution that shipment is going to add here. Not only that, we also allow the forwarders to offset this carbon emission. So
Okay.
through the platform itself, it becomes really easy. So at least you have the satisfaction that although there has been a carbon emission, but you have done something to take care of it and take care of our mother earth.
Yeah. After all, Mother Earth is something that needs to be taken care of. That's amazing. Yes, Mother Earth indeed should be the priority. And we all have learned about how sustainability has been a very pivotal concern and advocacy for Cargo Flash. So, you were a while back you mentioned how digital distribution is becoming the disruption or the trend of the time, but we all know how October is also advocating for the sustainability through the CO2 emission and the carbon footprint count. So just shed a light on that, will you please? Sure. So whenever we move from legacy process of handling any business to the new age digital process, it definitely going to reduce the number of papers. Right? And the same applies for air cargo as well. You will be surprised today that for every shipment, on an average, more than 30 sets of documents fly for each shipment. So now imagine what could be the overall number. Exactly. When we talk about the I don't think we can imagine that. So if I remember correctly, on an annual basis, it's about somewhere the 7,800 tons of paper which is carried, which does not actually need to be carried. Right. So the booking or the distribution platform is in line with the ITA's initiative of e-freight. So when I talk e-freight, it takes care of the e-airway bill, e-CSD. Also, we have rightly pointed out the measurement of CO2 emissions and also offsetting. At the same time, it also reduces unnecessary back and forth email communication. Right? It does not require for freight forwarders to do the legacy way of picking up the phone and trying to contact the airlines for getting the space, getting the rates. So all of this is taken care by the Octaloop. So all you need to do is just go onto the platform, enter the destination where you want to fly, put the weight of the shipment, and let the platform do all the work for you. It can not only get the point to point rates from various airlines for you to compare, it can not only do the bookings on behalf of you, but something very unique is that it can construct routes for you. What do I mean by construct routes? Is that imagine for an origin destination, there are no airlines which fly directly from that origin. You just put in the destination, the AI algorithms of the platform will try to match multiple airlines which subscribe to the platform and automatically will create the routes as well as the rates for you to book. Right. So this is going to revolutionize how air cargo is booked today. Revolution indeed. And it's amazing how Octaloop is not only saving the planet Earth but our time. So, guys, if you haven't actually tried or ventured around the platform, I would suggest learn more about Octaloop. It's available on website. Well, I'm sure it has been exciting all throughout till now, but now we reach to the most exciting part of the podcast, which is the rapid fire. And with Gautam, rapid fire has always been fun, and it's going to be yet another moment. So let's just quickly dive into a rapid fire. Very quickly, Gautam. If Cargoflash could implement one innovative technology in the industry by tomorrow itself, what would it be? So it will be an extension of our Octaloop. The larger vision of Octaloop is a digital air cargo ecosystem connecting every stakeholder in the entire supply chain, no matter how trivial their role might be in this chain. Right. What's the most exciting trend you're currently seeing in the industry? So again, I would take the name of the distribution platforms only. Yeah. So this is something which we saw emerging in the past couple of years and expanding rapidly. I really want to know this one. What's the biggest misconception that people overall have about the air cargo industry? Okay, so the biggest misconception people have about the cargo industry is that it is an industry which cannot sustain on an online mode. So by online mode, again, sorry, excuse me for that, but I still again take the name of a digital distribution platform only. So this is a misconception where people feel that air cargo still requires bookings to be made for phone, still requires negotiations to be done face to face, but the distribution platforms like Octaloop are actually changing that. Right. Next question. If you could predict one major development in the air cargo industry coming in the next 5 years, what would it be? So the development which I see is the ITAS one record being implemented
globally within the next 5 years, then that will ensure that no longer the stakeholders are working in silos.
Right. And three words would you use to describe the future of air cargo industry?
The three words would be digitized, connected, and sustainable.
Amazing. Lastly, one word, if I tell you just one word to inspire the young generation who are willing to join this industry.
I would like to take more than a word here.
Sure, please do.
Right? If I have to just summarize in one word, then I would definitely want to use the word innovate.
Yes.
But for the younger generation, this is something which I have observed over my past 23 years in this industry. This is a fantastic industry to be.
Yeah.
Right? Like I said earlier, also, once you come into this industry, you just cannot get out of it.
Yeah.
This industry in its infancy stage of digital transformation. So we want young people to join in, give their expertise, and innovate the industry along with us. Fresh blood, fresher mind, and fresher ideas. Absolutely.
On that note, thank you so much, Gautam. Always a pleasure talking to you. I'm sure we have so much more to talk about. I'm sure you can get started, get going when it comes to technology and air cargo, and we definitely should have a follow up on this podcast.
Indeed, Barna. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time, Gautam. So, as we conclude our exploration to the future of air cargo technology, we are reminded of the three pillars that will shape the industry in the years to come: digitized, connected, automated, and sustainable. So, as we embrace the innovation and collaboration, let us envision a future where air cargo technology not only meets the demand of today's, but also paves the brighter future and the way for tomorrow, a more sustainable tomorrow, rather. That wraps up for today's episode of On Air with Cargoflash, and I really hope that each one of you had a good time, could find some key takeaways from this session and this episode. Please share your comments on our social media handles and don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram pages. You may also visit our website www.cargoflash.com. Join us for the next time as we explore more exciting development in the air cargo technology, the industry, and how it has the way to come. Until then, stay tuned, stay innovative. Thank you.